right away. And what will Thomas, the old gardener, say when you ask him for flowers for me? Will he give you the rose he has tended with care, the first Paris bloom from the tree? I could see the teardrops there in his honest old eye. He said it was the wind that brought them there. He gazed on my cheek growing paler each day. His hand trembled o'er my hair. Mother, my poor little dog, I know he will mourn for me too. Keep him till old and useless he grows, sleeping the whole summer through. Show him my coat, mother, so he won't forget his master, who then will be dead. Speak to him often and kindly of Joe, and pat him on his brown shaggy head. And you, dearest mother, may miss me for a while, but in heaven I shall no larger grow. Kind angels will know when you ask at the gate, when you ask for your darling little Joe.
Well, what a weeper, eh? Oh, they did a great version of it. Well, that was Back Porch Bluegrass. I hope you enjoyed this show. It's a real mixture of different stuff, wasn't it? We'll take it out with the Florida Blues, played by Kathy Barwick, helped out by Bruce Johnson on fiddles and Roland White on mandolin. Remember to make your booking for the Hamilton County Bluegrass Concert on the 23rd of March. It's the last opportunity you'll have to see the band play, so you should be there. Here's the Florida Blues. Thanks for listening. Tune in again next time. Bye.
Waterloo alumni, former student with my good pal Charlie here.
We may be getting into that a little bit,
Yeah.
but yes, I think I met you on like the first class ever in
Something like
Waterloo,
that.
something
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, well, before we really get into it, just to start some housekeeping items as usual, I want to say a big thank you to Lee Gregory, as always, for helping to fund this show. You know, finally we're getting on our feet after April. Like the funding will stop, but we've so much appreciated this 8 months of help, and so Lee Gregory, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. And from everyone at Bandwidth, we really appreciate it. So with that being said, today, and you've heard a tiny bit about them personally. Today we're welcoming a band from Toronto, based in Toronto, I believe. And I'll let you guys introduce your band and just describe yourself to a Waterloo audience, I suppose.
Cool.
Yeah,
Sure.
as a band.
Should I take the one? You want to go for it?
Yeah, you.
Okay, so we're called The Weekend at Ramona's. I would say we're kind of like an indie rock band, but kind of borrow from a lot of different things, like just a lot of different alternative kind of stuff, a lot of pop music, and like kind of dance stuff as well.
Ooh, dance stuff. Ooh.
Yeah, that's actually some new stuff coming. We'll lean more that direction. But yeah, we formed this band together, me and Chris, all the way back in, I think, high school, like senior year of high school, and it's been going strong since.
So that's 6 years now, maybe 5
Something
years.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know, right? Like I'm meeting all these 18-year-olds at Waterloo
know.
now. Yeah, no, fascinating. So it's been 6 years.
It's been 6 years, yeah. And
right.
yeah, 5 years, I think, since our first release. And it's been a while since we've put out new music. So this new song that we're going to be coming out soon that we'll talk about in a bit is like our first song in 2 years. So we took a bit of a break, but now, yeah, we're coming back strong.
I see.
Oh, yeah.
Chris, do you have any words about a Weekend at Ramona's?
Well, I feel like Ben pretty much covered it, you know. We started as kind of more specifically a 4-piece band. I'd say now as we evolved a little bit, we've been doing a lot more collaboration, just the two of us, and really building up the songs together. Like Ben said, yeah, it's been a little bit of a while since we released some music, but we have some stuff coming out that we're super proud of. Very
I
exciting.
see. Well, so you mentioned dance now as like a kind of a new thing, and so I'm wondering about the genre of a Weekend at Ramona's in 2024, because like Ben, I've seen a lot of different phases in your musical career, like obviously like indie rock, but then also I know you played some punk stuff as well.
Right.
So I'm wondering, like, how would you describe a Weekend at Ramona's musically right now in this present moment?
I feel like the exciting thing about being in a Weekend at Ramona's right now is that we like took out a lot of the rules. I feel like, you know, for a long time in the early kind of days of the band, we really thought of ourselves heavily as an indie rock band and a 4-piece band. Like there was like confines to like the type of music that we would operate in. And I think now with some of our newer stuff, we're kind of just willing to try anything, which is really exciting. So I just feel like, you know, there's obviously going to be those influences that kind of will always be there, and we'll probably always lean, I guess, in some of those indie vibes. But I think it's just fun that we ourselves have taken out those rules, because at the end of the day, I think a Weekend at Ramona's will sound like us because it's us. So we don't have to like be like, oh, we need to capture that sound. You know what I mean? It's kind of more fun and kind of exciting.
Yeah, to kind of go off of that too, in the new songs, we've definitely taken a lot more liberties with like instrumentation and kind of just like elevating past that 4-piece.
Yeah.
And I think you can really hear it on the track too.
I see. Yeah, 'cause it's always fascinating to me to study how bands evolve and change sounds. So that's interesting to hear. I have a very specific question now, though, because I was listening to Marilyn, one of your songs from, I believe, was that 2020 or 2021?
Something
Yeah.
like that now.
Yeah, and the chord progression, I was really diving into trying to understand maybe some influence, and so it was like da 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 da, and it reminded me of another song that actually shares a name with your band. And so a Weekend at Ramona's, and I couldn't help think of the Ramonas, and of course the famous song da 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 Blitzkrieg Bop bum ba da. And so I'm wondering if there's any sort of connection between your band and the Ramonas and that sort of like pop punk sound. I'm not really sure how to describe the Ramonas.
Yeah. Well, I know with that song specifically, we definitely. It's funny you say like the Ramones. I know we tried to be
The Ramones,
a little. I think when writing it, a little more like I guess 60s inspired, because like just the whole song in general and like Marilyn as like a figure and character, we kind of wanted to like pay homage to I guess those older tunes back in the day with those bumpy like guitar solos. Like I remember writing it and listening to it and thinking like, oh, this is kind of like giving me Johnny B. Good vibes, you know? Like,
Yeah.
in that.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it has
yeah.
that. Yeah. Oh, Marilyn. Yeah, I like the song. I was listening to it today. Yeah.
It's funny though, yeah, 'cause I don't actually think the Ramones themselves were actually a big influence in that song at all. But I
Okay.
think like you said, like pulling from the '60s, the Ramones, I think were also like they were a punk band that was obsessed with like '60s pop, and
Were they?
also kind of obsessed with '60s pop. So I think maybe that's where like the overlap there kind of is. You know what I mean?
I had no idea they were influenced that way. So I'm thinking of 60s pop. Are we talking maybe like Beach Boys or something like that? Or
I know they've cited the Beach Boy. There's actually a song. Oh, I think it's called "Do You Want to Dance?"
Okay.
And the Ramones do a cover of it, and I love. There's a Beach Boys version of it, and then there's the Ramones version. They're so different, but they're both amazing in their own ways.
Right.
So it's kind of cool to see. Yeah, like I think it's a little more parallel to them that we were trying to go for, but they're definitely kind of poppy like that too.
Wow. Okay. Well, now that we have a little bit of a, let's say, verbal glimpse into, inspirations and sound, I'd like to play a song that supposedly is coming out on March 30th.
March 30th.
March 29th.
March 29th.
29th.
Oh, my mistake.
Okay. March 29th. Friday.
And then that's the day before your show in Waterloo?
Before our show,
Okay.
correct.
Well, first I want you to talk about your show, and then I want to talk about Amanda. So talk about your show first. And then...
Yeah. Well, we're actually going to be one of the bands opening for the band Short Walk to Pluto. It's going to be a really fun show. They're a very awesome band and just super nice people. Yeah, we expect it to be a lot of fun, sound really good.
Yeah, like it's a super cool lineup. Yeah, Short Walk to Pluto is the headliner, so they're like a really cool young rock band, kind of very 70s inspired vibes, which is super cool. And then we also the other band playing with us is called House Cat, which is a Kitchener Waterloo band.
Heard House
which
Cat,
is
yeah.
super cool. They're a super cool kind of indie folky band kind of thing. So super cool vibe too. So it's a very like eclectic mix of bands, but just like we love both of them. So it's like gonna be a really fun mix up.
And where is it?
Oh, this is at the Hub in Kitchener.
The Hub. Oh, the Hub.
Yes.
Okay, I see. Very nice. Okay, well, I'd like to play one of your songs, and so do you want to say anything about Amanda before we play it?
I mean, we recorded a few songs in the last couple of months. I think 4 total. We got in the studio, really grinded them out. I'd say for me, Amanda, like, I want to say I'm the most proud of it. I just think it's just, we had so much fun making it. We also had been sitting on it for a little while, so we had our ideas really straightforward by the time we brought it to the studio. And I think you could just really hear on the track, like, we all had a good time. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. I think, it's a really, I like, this one has a big groove that I think a lot of our older music doesn't have. I think our old music was a little bit more straightforward in terms of the beat, which is super cool too, but this one has a very kind of cool groove, and you can kind of feel in the bass. It's very kind of like, I don't know, I guess a little bit kind of like funk inspired. So I love
Funk inspired.
Kinda,
Ooh, okay.
it just has a really kind of fun move to it that I think maybe some of our other stuff hasn't. So I'm super excited about this one.
That is very exciting. And is this the first time that it's being played? It hasn't been released yet.
No,
So this is a
first-
premiere.
this is exclusive.
So people listening right now cannot hear it anywhere else.
No, absolutely.
All right. Well, this is very exciting. So this is Amanda by A Weekend at Ramona's, everybody.
Could say I'm a pessimist, but I would say I'm just preparing. 'Cause I'll be checking up on you, but when you're gone, I'll never hear it. After all the strains and coming down from the feeling, 'cause you're not the type I take into the town for the evening. But Amanda, why won't you call me now? If the universe is infinite, it's no surprise we got lost in it. So I lay myself on top of you till you tell me that I'm the burden. But take away the pain from feeling down on the feeling, and hold up your unnecessary
Ben, I'm curious. Do you write your guitar solos beforehand, or is that like kind of improvised in the studio?
Oh, that's a good question. That stuff is very kind of calculated before.
Okay,
yeah,
I
and
see.
a lot of that is actually like Chris too. Like Chris will come in with a lot of those ideas and we'll work them out, or vice versa.
Okay.
So I think a lot of it's we're definitely not like as much of like a jammy type of band. We kind of really like to figure out our parts.
I
So that
see.
they kind of feel maybe like I guess like a little bit of like a puzzle that kind of all works.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Do you guys use sheet music to write out guitar solos, or
No.
or no, you don't? So you just like practice and practice it and have it in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say like sometimes we'll like record a demo or something just to refer to, you know.
Yeah.
The benefit of a song like this is we played it like a million times in like rehearsal before this, so we really like knew it kind of front to back, like really inside and out. Whereas some of the other songs we've done, like we're kind of figuring out in the studio. So this one is like Chris was kind of saying before, like we knew what we wanted and we kind of just had to go in and do it.
Yeah, well, that was fantastic. I mean, I was saying while I was playing, like, I love some of the changes between kind of like part of the verse and the other part of the verse. Like, it's very explosive coming into certain sections. So that was amazing. Like, would you want to say anything about like the songwriting process for that song as well?
I had wrote it a little while ago, like in the COVID days, you know. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of ironic. We talked about how we're not really a jammy band, but I feel like kind of thinking of that progression and some of those riffs, like it was very much like a jammy context, just kind of like doing it because it does, like you said, it kind of feels improvised, and it was. But it was one of those things like you record it, come back to it later, and it's like, oh, okay, like we could use that, you know?
Right. I see. So this was written a while ago then, like a couple years ago.
Yeah, like
This was our old, of the songs that are coming out soon. This is the one we've had the longest. Every other one was composed like last year, I would say, like 2023.
Okay.
This one we've had for a minute, and we just like we're like, this is too good to like leave in the past. You know what I mean?
Okay, I think so. So what we've all been wondering then is, who's Amanda?
I'm also wondering.
That's what I'm thinking.
Amanda. I want to know who Ramona is. That wasn't me.
Yes. Oh, true. Okay. Well, Amanda does not need to be shared, but everyone is wondering that. But that's all right. Well, yeah. What wonderful song. It's great to add to the discography of your band, which is growing now. It's which is amazing. I want to shift gears a little bit and ask you guys about your impression of the music scene in Waterloo. Like, if you have any impressions of the music scene, because you're playing here.
Yeah.
I'd love to know any sort of takes or like impressions that you've had. And well, you spent a lot of time here, obviously, but maybe for Chris, like first impressions, even. Like, I'd love to know.
Yeah. Well, Ben definitely knows more. Like, Ben has gotten around, it seems. Just kidding.
Hopping around.
No, first impressions, it was really nice. We played Waterloo a little bit more, like, around, like, when Chainsaw was still open and that sort of thing.
That was way back, and now it's been
Yeah.
5 things since
Oh my
Chainsaw.
gosh.
It was a Miami bar.
I know, it's weird.
And that's closed down.
Evolving.
There's still sand on that. There's
They'll
still
never get
sand.
it out, I don't think.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you play Chainsaw? Oh, you did. I remember I
did, we
came
did.
to one of
Did
your
you
shows.
come to one of the- that's
I came to
awesome.
one of your shows. I
Yeah.
remember that back in 2019. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like what I really like about the scene in Waterloo, I really like, I think, honestly, what you guys have been doing with JamNetwork has been really, like, I guess, eye-opening to a lot of the talent, and especially the young talent that's been kind of, blossoming in Waterloo students and just people in Waterloo in general. Like, I feel like I would say even while we were in the band and doing stuff in Waterloo, sometimes I wasn't as aware, but I feel like it's really grown in terms of, like, now there's all these cool bands that started in JamNetwork, for example, and that kind of thing, and are doing these kind of things. So I feel like that's, like, something I really took away, especially in my, like, last year of school last year when I was playing with Main Lane. It was like there was all these really cool young people doing all their different kind of vibes and that kind of thing. And that's even, like, what, like, grabbed my attention with Joyce and why we wanted to work with her, is because it's just like it's people that are kind of doing their own unique kind of thing and their own inspirations. It's been cool to see, like, these young people and, like, the stuff that they're doing.
That's a fantastic addition with Joyce. Like, I mean, everyone listening right now probably knows Joyce. Like, she's a big part of our club, and now she's joining A Week in Ramonas as a bassist, I do
She's
believe.
playing with us, yeah.
And potentially little background vocal stuff, maybe.
If you're listening to this, Joyce,
Yeah.
yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, that is massive.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so that was Amanda. And well, now we might transition to what everyone's really been waiting for. Before we go into that, is there any last things you want to say about Amanda or that song?
Not really. again, March 29th, you know? If you have Spotify, you know, pre-save.
Yeah, that'd be a
Pretty
big help
dope.
if you guys are into it and want to hear it. If you could pre-save it, that means the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we got the gist.
Okay, those are the final thoughts. Everyone, can I get your attention, please? You are about to listen to the first live performance in Bandwidth history, and I believe the first live performance in CKMS in the last 5 years. So give us 30 seconds just to set up everything. We want to make sure it's the best possible performance, and then we'll have the two guys introduce the songs. So just give us 20 or 30 seconds. So I want to record this individually, like the video.
Yeah, so don't you want me over here?
No, for like the video.
Press the record?
It's just stop. Wait, how do I?
What do you mean?
Like I want to record I want to record it.
It is recording.
Okay. Checking 1, 2, 3. We're all good with that mic here. Check.
They say you couldn't take it way out, and I shouldn't let you fall. But how are you supposed to hear me when they know you don't love me at all?
So that was.
I'll get those MP3 sent to you.
Okay, Bastion, you want to say anything else on the air?
Hi everyone, love you.
Bastion loves you. That was A Weekend at Ramona's, and you just heard them on recording. You heard them live on the air, and you also heard their perspectives and their, and their songwriting influences and their thoughts. And I think that was a really cool interview for me because they're a pretty successful band. They have a following, and it's great to hear from a band. And obviously, me and Ben have known each other for 6 years now, so it's really good to see him again and hear all his progress because they're definitely making progress. Like we hear musically, they're experimenting with synths and they're experimenting with different kinds of songwriting. They're into dance music now, which is cool to hear. So that was A Weekend at Ramona's. I hope everyone in JamNet enjoyed. And you also just heard Bastion, and Alex says hi, Bastion, so you can say hi, Alex. Hello. Cree, you can also get on the mic if you want to, if you'd like to say anything.
Hello, everyone.
That was Cree. Okay, so now we're going to transition to the second part of our show. We're going to play a couple Jam Networkians music here. We don't have too much time exactly, but we're going to do our best. And if you have any comments, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. So up first, you might call me selfish because I played with them, but I am going to be playing the very famous now in Jam Network, Maria Gabriela. I'm going to be playing her just absolute hit, Damsel. This one I kind of fell in love with, and I actually, luckily enough, got to play it with her recently, and I'll be playing it with her again very soon. And so, Maria, if you're listening, I really enjoy the song, and I also enjoy your other music, but this one definitely is special. So this is Maria Gabriela, Damsel by Maria Gabriela.
As it passes, each one dances. They raise their hands and avoid the classes. They run through the fields, they hate the flowers. You pick them up and pretend they matter. They hop the fence, they don't know why. And they're screaming curses at the damn blue sky. They broke all the promises, they lied. Doesn't make them bad guys. Hey, please don't make me